Welcome back to the archives, traveler. Some battles end with glory, clean victories, heroes standing tall over fallen enemies. Others end with fire and blood, with desperation, with sacrifice. This one ended with both. The hall burned. Syllara moved through the flames like a nightmare given form, graceful, deadly, silent. Valory fired. 3 arrows split the air, blazing with purifying light. 2 struck Syllara's legs, severing chitin and sinew. 1 pierced her torso. The wounds closed. Tharok's glaive swept low, cutting through 2 of her spider legs at the joint. They fell, twitching. New legs sprouted, black, glistening, whole. Kaelister's blade flashed across her side, opening a gash that wept ichor. It sealed, smooth, unbroken. And then Valory saw it. Syllara retreated, just for a moment. Her lower body brushed against one of the hanging cocoons. The cocoons withered, shriveled, the silk turned gray, and Syllara's wounds vanished. "She's feeding," Valory said. "She's using the cocoons to regenerate." Lyr's eyes narrowed. "Then we burn them." He raised both hands. Fire roared from his palms, consuming 3 cocoons in an instant. The silk ignited. The bodies inside turned to ash. Syllara hissed. No words, just sound, fury. She lunged. The battle intensified, but now the quartet had a strategy. Burn the cocoons, cut off her supply. Lyr sent waves of flame across the hall. Cocoons burned. Syllara's regeneration slowed. She had been whole, 6 legs, fangs like blades, armor gleaming. Now she was breaking. 3 legs remained. Her torso was scarred. Her fangs were shattered stumps. She was weakening, but she was not done. Syllara's movements grew erratic, desperate, and then she spoke, not with her voice, with theirs. Lyr heard his father's voice. "I'm here, son, below, waiting. Come to me." Kaelister heard the same. "I never left. The armistice holds me. Free me." Valory heard the elves. "You are forgiven. Come home, a hero, accepted." Tharok heard his people. "The Rhinarchan will rise again. Thousands, a future, all you desire." Syllara was in their heads, whispering, promising. Lyr faltered. His hands dropped. His magic flickered. "Lyr!" Kaelister shouted. Syllara saw her opening. She lunged. Her remaining legs wrapped around Lyr, pulling him close. He did not resist. Valory fired. The arrow struck Syllara's shoulder. She did not flinch. Tharok charged. She kicked him back with 1 massive leg. Kaelister moved to intervene, but Lyr raised a hand. "Wait." And then Syllara's lower body opened. A mouth, not the mandibles of her humanoid face, a feeding orifice where her spider abdomen met her torso. The chitin split, revealing a circular maw lined with smaller fangs. She pulled Lyr toward it. The others shouted, panic, desperation. Syllara pushed him inside, and then she sealed the orifice. Lyr was gone, consumed. The hall fell silent. Syllara's body pulsed, absorbing, feeding, and then from within, light. Orange, red, blazing. Syllara convulsed. Her eyes widened. Her mouth opened in a silent scream. Fire erupted from her wounds, from her mouth, from her eyes. She thrashed, clawed at her own abdomen, tried to expel him, but it was too late. Lyr had been holding a spell, compressed, condensed, waiting, and now, inside her body, he released it, an inferno. Syllara's abdomen split, fire poured out. Lyr emerged, covered in ichor and ash, smoke rising from his cloak. He stumbled forward, turned. Syllara collapsed. Her legs buckled, her torso crumbled. Fire consumed her from within. She reached out, grasping, desperate, and then she burned. Her body turned to ash, to silk, to nothing. Syllara the Velvet Trap was dead.
The hall was silent. The fires died. The spiders were gone. The cocoons hung like ghosts. The quartet stood, breathing hard. Lyr wiped ichor from his face, said nothing. Kaelister placed a hand on his shoulder, nodded. They had work to do. The quartet split up. Valory and Tharok took the sun vault corridors. Kaelister and Lyr searched the fortress. They moved carefully, used Somara's tear to cut open cocoons with purifying light. Some soldiers were alive, weak, gasping, traumatized, but alive. Others were dead, suffocated, were drained, husks hanging in silk. But most lived. Syllara had been preparing, not feeding, not yet. She had cocooned them to keep them fresh, alive, ready. A breeding ground needed living hosts. The quartet had arrived during the harvest phase, before the incubation. If they had come later, days perhaps, a week, there would have been nothing left to save. The count came slowly. Hundreds lost, hundreds upon hundreds, but thousands survived. The vast majority of the silent, aberrant company still drew breath. They had been kept alive, stored, waiting to become something worse, and now they were free. The quartet regrouped in a secured chamber. A man entered, older, armored, his face lined with exhaustion and grief. Field Marshal Torrhen, the highest-ranking officer still alive. He stood before them, not as a superior, but as an equal who had just lost everything. "You saved us," he said quietly. Kaelister shook his head. "We were too late to save everyone." "But not too late to save most," Torrhen replied. "The Supreme Commander, the High Strategists, the Lord Sentinels, all dead, found drained in the command chamber. The weight of command, unwanted, unasked for, settled visibly on his shoulders. Syllara infiltrated weeks ago," he continued. "Whispers, promises. She spoke to soldiers in their sleep, offered them what they desired most. She turned key officers, convinced them to open doors, lower wards, grant her access. The sun vault fell first. She killed the guards, hollowed them out, filled them with her brood, turned them into puppets." Valory's eyes narrowed. "The soldiers at the gate, the ones in the halls, dead for weeks, walking corpses, we didn't know." He continued. "She worked her way up the chain of command, and then she struck the inner circle." He paused. His jaw tightened. With them gone, coordination collapsed. She cocooned the rest, thousands of them. "But she kept them alive," Kaelister said. Torrhen nodded grimly. "She needed living hosts, a breeding ground. We were being stored, prepared." "Thank you," he said, "all of you." But his eyes were haunted, because they all knew the truth. The archives record this as a Pyrrhic victory. Syllara the Velvet Trap is dead. 4 sovereigns have fallen, 3 remain. But the cost was high. Hundreds dead, trust shattered, the inner circle gone. The quartet knows what must come next. They must descend. They must face the truth. because the answers, and perhaps the greatest threat of all, lie in the depths. The archives are now closed.